I be outside with my gang. TNN Trap News Network. What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network. It's good news you can use. It's good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college. We here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Good knowledge you thought you ain't finna get nobody's college. You big dog. Notification bell here. All stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest of what we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. So this news. The kids woke me up, bro. It's Sunday. I was asleep. They woke me up. I'm not in the best mood. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not in the best mood, bro. Because y'all know how much time. All right, so y'all know how much content I give y'all. And I be in the gym trying to get my fight on. You feel me? This work. I be in the gym trying to get my fight on. You feel me? I'm full-time parenting. You feel me? I ain't missing no nothing for them. We grocery storing. You know what I'm saying? We doing other things. It's a lot going on I can't even tell y'all about, but y'all gonna see. It's a lot going on they don't even know about. It's a lot going on that y'all don't know about, but we putting this chili together so we can make sure that y'all have the best TNN Trap News Network. I'm trying to make sure it's the hottest summer possible. And they going to wake me up at 11 o'clock talking about a birthday party at 1:15. I got to go do something before that. And I said, all right, you know what? I got y'all. Don't trip. You know, let's figure this thing out. I'm parenting mama real quick. I had an event. Let's figure this thing out. What time is the party? 1:15? All right, cool. I look up. To get done what I got to get done and get them to the party on time, we got to leave at 11:30. I look around, my house not clean. So you mean to tell me that y'all been up all morning playing video games? Y'all ain't washed the dish, y'all ain't swept the floor, y'all ain't made a bed, and y'all trying to get me to rush to a birthday party? After it was an issue at the school this week? Rich Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network, giving y'all news y'all can use, reporting live from the spot, not a birthday party. That's what's going on. You crazy in your head, bro. You crazy in your head. You crazy in your head. Falling back. Akademiks says he's falling back from covering the Luce Cannon and WACK100 beef. That means that Wack got on Akademiks' head and pressed him and said, stop doing it.
Oh, Wack. No, we're not going Wack today. Oh, you want me to give you a Wack update? And so, because even like Sharice texted me today, and I ain't really respond. She texted me her video. I will say this, and I don't think Wack told me this in secrecy, so I'm just gonna be like, Wack made a personal call to me today, expressing some things that I won't mention, but some seriousness around some things happening with the Luce Cannon situation.
Man, so now Wack then press Akademiks and Akademiks. Don't trip, because Wack knows he's about to go to jail. That's right. Wack going to jail. You know what? I'm grouchy today. Today might be a shicey Sunday. I might drop some info today. I think I might. I might drop some info today. Let Akademiks stop being that voice. I'm a screamer from the mountaintops. I've been quiet because Akademiks been doing the due diligence and the footwork for everybody. He got a bigger platform. Shut off Akademiks. I'm going to cut that water right back on. Kid with a match. Dry leaves soaked in gasoline and kerosene. Kid with a match. Dry leaves soaked in gasoline and kerosene in the middle of an open field. Let's see what happens.
Maybe some possible legal or whatever. And he asked me, he says, Zach, I'm asking you as someone who, you know, I would have your back and I want you to have my back. Could you not indulge in this Luce Cannon Wack debacle anymore? And, you know,
Wack don't want Wack don't want Act talking about it. Wack don't want Act talking about it no more because Wack is about to go to jail, bro. Remember I've been telling y'all, June is finna get tricky for Wack. It's May. June is finna get real tricky for Cash. They on your cash, bagash. They own it.
The details of what he told me to kind of support that goes neither here nor there, and it's not for me to share with y'all. But out of, you know, you got to have some loyalty and some respect as in terms of friendships and things like that. And I also usually think about these things and imagine if I made that request, would you want somebody to honor it? And, you know, I think my one caveat was, wait, are you going to still entertain it? Because if you're telling me it's that serious and that there are these entities and it could escalate or whatever, and I'm good to let it go. Now, I don't know if Wack's gonna let it go, but I would hope that he would as well let it go. But he asked me, he called me today very early. I remember he called me like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I said, damn, Wack is up at 8 o'clock on the West Coast? And he made that request, and when he told me about how serious certain things could get, are getting, I obliged. I actually agreed. I said, it's done. I'm not trying to, because I've always said this, I'm not trying to do content on things that could get somebody incarcerated or get people hemmed up. I was always wondering why people who are putting themselves at risk of incarceration.
And that's the thing too. Now, Ak knows that this is some BS. Akademiks knows that this is some flammery, skullduggery, and larceny. He knows that this is, these ninjas pulling the stunt, pulling the flam, and all that kind of stuff. This situation right here is just, yeah, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy.
Incarceration or other things would do content on those very things. So, just for the record to show, Wack did call me, say, yo, Ak, could you please ease up off of this thing? There's a bunch of things happening.
Wack doesn't want Akademiks to talk about the fact that WACK100 is being tried and being caught up in his No Jumper indictment, and he might get sent to the feds with Big U and Break Baby and Luce Cannon. That's what's going on. That's what he ain't want to talk about. That's what they don't want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about.
And A, B, C, D, and E, that could escalate things. Could we leave this alone? And I agreed. So, just to let y'all know, and by the way, y'all could clip this, and I think I should courtesy-wise text Sharice and let her know, like, hey, listen, with all due respect, I've just been informed that whatever y'all got going on, and I don't, I'm very cool with Wack, but I just hear it's at a level that I don't want to be involved in. You get what I'm saying? And that level would constitute more arrest, indictments, law enforcement, all these other things. And I'm like, I'll check out at this point, okay? And I've always said this. Remember when I was saying about the whole thing when I was saying, yo, Wack, did you talk to police? I said, Wack, if remember, because he would get upset when he would talk to me on stream, and we throwing ad hominem attacks. I always said, Wack, if you ask me directly, like, hey, Ak, could you stop? Could we just not talk about this? I wouldn't talk about it. And I'm here to say that he asked me specifically with the Luce Cannon stuff to not continue that conversation or whatever that involves their back and forth currently.
Because it's going to give up all the information about Wack going to jail.
And because he asked me directly, I will oblige. I will oblige. Okay? All right. Anyway.
All right, man. We up out to the next one. Y'all know the deal. Be better today than what you were yesterday. Be even better tomorrow. But today, be at your best. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. And it's free. I've been doing your tweets free.